Have you ever imagined a place where everything you desire becomes a reality? A space where your goals, dreams, and ambitions are not just possibilities, but tangible realities? Well, you are in the right place. Today we're going to reveal the secret that will allow you to achieve just that. It's not magic or a gimmick, but an approach to life, Stoicism. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of focusing on our actions, reactions, and thoughts, showing how by doing so we can change our reality and achieve amazing things. In this video we will look at 15 Stoic principles that will guide you through this process. Each principle will be broken down in detail and complemented with a quote from a Stoic philosopher emphasizing its essence. So relax and prepare to immerse yourself in the essence of Stoicism. Before I continue, I'd like to ask you to give this video a like, so that it can be seen by as many people as possible. If you don't want to miss anything on the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications. Here we go. Principle 1. Ataraxia, tranquility of mind. The first Stoic lecture on directing attention inward to the self is ataraxia, a Greek concept meaning calm or equanimity. The Stoics argue that true happiness lies not in external pleasures or approval from others, but in peace of mind. Achieving ataraxia means accepting the world as it is, not wishing circumstances were different. It is the realization that although external events are beyond our control, we can control our reactions to them. By freeing ourselves from expectations and accepting what life offers, we can find inner peace. Epictetus, the famous Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not things that bother you, but your opinions about them." This quote reminds us that our inner peace depends on our interpretations and reactions to everyday events, not the events themselves. Thus, ataraxia is an important tool for focusing on yourself, because by promoting inner peace, you free yourself from unnecessary worries and focus on what is most important, your own growth and personal development. Principle 2. Amor fati, love of fate. The second Stoic wisdom is amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This principle encourages us to accept and love whatever life presents us with, whether it be joys or hardships. Instead of resisting difficulties or complaining about them, the Stoics advise us to accept them as an integral part of our journey. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said to accept whatever comes to you woven into the pattern of your destiny. For what better way to serve your needs than to accept it? This reflection encourages us to see every event in our lives as exactly what we need at this moment to learn, to grow, and evolve. By adopting the principle of amor fati, you can begin to see every problem as an opportunity for advancement, and every setback as a necessary lesson. This viewpoint allows you to focus on personal growth, avoiding getting stuck in resistance. Principle 3. Prosocial attention. The third Stoic key idea is prosos, which translates to mindfulness. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the present and focusing on our current actions and thoughts. Prosos is the practice of being fully immersed in each moment, observing our actions, thoughts, and emotions without criticism. Recognize that we only have power over our actions and reactions in the present moment, and we must focus on right action in the here and now. Epictetus, the eminent Stoic philosopher, advised, "Do not wish things to happen as you wish them to happen, but wish them to happen as they happen, and you will be happy." This phrase reminds us that we must accept reality as it is and focus our attention on our own actions and reactions. Practicing about Sochi teaches us to live in the present and focus on what we can truly control in our own actions and reactions. Principle 4. Eudaimonia, which translates to good life or happiness. Stoics argue that true happiness does not lie in fleeting pleasures or the accumulation of wealth, but in a life of virtue and meaning. Eudaimonia is achieved when we live in harmony with nature, which for the Stoics means living virtuously. This involves understanding that our true happiness and fulfillment stem from our own actions and character, not from external circumstances. Seneca, the famous Stoic philosopher, expressed it this way: "It is not he who is poor who has little, but he who wants more." This quote reminds us that our true wealth and happiness depend on our character and our actions, not material possessions. Thus, he viewed eudaimonia as a powerful tool for focusing on self. For by pursuing the good life through virtue and purpose, he can find lasting and meaningful fulfillment. Principle 5. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. The fifth Stoic key idea is memento mori, not to induce fear but to motivate action. By realizing that our lives are limited, we can appreciate each moment and live with greater meaning and intensity. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Think of yourself as if you were already dead. You have lived your life. Now take what is left and live it right." This reflection encourages us to view each day as a gift and live it to the best of our ability. By practicing memento mori, you learn to appreciate each moment and live each day with purpose and gratitude. This perspective allows you to focus on yourself and your personal growth, instead of worrying about aspects of life that are out of your control. Principle 6. Enkratia, self-control. The sixth Stoic key idea is enkratia, which translates to self-control. The Stoics deeply valued self-control as important to act in accordance with our values and principles rather than giving in to passions or outside influences. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, noted, "Freedom is not secured by the abundance of the things you have or the multitude of pleasures, but by the absence of desire." This statement reminds us that true self-control does not lie in suppressing our desires, but in freeing ourselves from them. By practicing enkratia, you learn to control your actions and emotions, which allows you to focus on yourself and your personal development. Principle 7. Oikeiosis, a sense of belonging. The seventh Stoic key idea is oikeiosis, which translates to a sense of belonging or affiliation. The Stoics believe that we are all part of a larger community and that we have a responsibility for the well-being of others. Oikeiosis is the practice of recognizing our connection to others and acting in accordance with it. It means understanding that our actions affect others, and we must consider this effect when making decisions. Proposed a model of concentric circles to represent affiliation, where the individual is at the center, followed by family, friends, community, humanity, and finally the cosmos. This model reminds us that we are part of something bigger and that our actions can have consequences beyond our own lives. By practicing oikeiosis, you learn to consider the impact of your actions on others and contribute to the well-being of your community. This perspective allows you to focus on your personal development while contributing to your overall well-being. Continued. Principle 8. Philanthropy, love of humanity. Philanthropy. Love for humanity. The eighth Stoic key idea is love for humanity, the underlying Stoic belief in the importance of kindness and generosity toward others. This practice involves acting with kindness and generosity toward others, not expecting anything in return, and recognizing that we are all part of the same human community. Seneca, the famous Stoic philosopher, said, "Wherever there is a person, there is an opportunity for kindness." This quote reminds us that no matter what our circumstances, we always have the opportunity to act with kindness and generosity. By incorporating this practice into your life, you will learn to act with benevolence, allowing you to focus on your personal development while contributing to the well-being of others. Principle 9. Sophrosyne. Moderation is the practice of seeking balance in all areas of life, realizing that excesses, both in pleasures and hardships, can lead to unhappiness and suffering. But Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, argued wealth does not consist in having great possessions, but in having small needs. This quote reminds us that true wealth and happiness stem from a life of balance and moderation, not from the accumulation of possessions or pleasures. By practicing moderation, You will learn to seek balance in your life and avoid excess. This perspective will allow you to focus on yourself and your personal development. Principle 10. Distinguishing between the controlled and the uncontrolled. The 10th Stoic key idea is focusing on what is under our control and accepting what is beyond our control. This practice involves distinguishing between our actions and thoughts which we can control and external events which are beyond our reach. Realizing that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can control how we respond to it, is fundamental. Epictetus, the eminent Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not things that bother you, but your opinions about them." This quote reminds us that our peace and happiness depend on how we interpret and react to events in life, not the events themselves. By practicing this fun activity, you will learn to focus on what you can truly control and accept what is beyond your control. This perspective will allow you to focus on yourself and your personal development. Principle 11. Malorum premeditation. Anticipation of evil. The 11th Stoic key idea involves the exercise of visualizing possible challenges or difficulties we may face in the future. This practice is to anticipate and mentally prepare for possible adversity, not from a pessimistic point of view, but as a strategy for preparing and planning for unfavorable events. Seneca, the famous Stoic philosopher, said, "A wise man always considers the possibility of trouble and is therefore prepared for it." This quote reminds us that true wisdom is not to always expect the best, but to be prepared for the worst. By practicing this foresight, you will learn to anticipate and prepare for challenges, allowing you to remain calm and poised even in the most difficult situations. This perspective will help you focus on yourself and your personal development. Principle 12, sympathy idea, is the belief that we all have an influence beyond ourselves and that we must take that influence into account when making decisions. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. What is not good for the hive is not good for the hive is not good for the bee either." This quote reminds us that we are part of a greater whole and that our actions can have significant consequences. By practicing sympathy, you will learn to consider the impact of your actions on the universe and contribute to the well-being of the universal whole. This perspective will help you focus on yourself and your personal development while considering your role in the larger reality. Principle 13. Ari, perfection of character. The 13th Stoic key idea is arete, which translates to perfection of character. The Stoics argue that the purpose of life is to develop virtuous character and live in harmony with nature. Arete includes the practice of cultivating virtues and living in accordance with our deepest values, realizing that our true happiness and fulfillment stem from our own actions and character, not from external circumstances. Epictetus, the eminent Stoic philosopher, taught, "Do not seek to make events happen as you wish them to happen, but wish events to happen as they do, and you will have a peaceful life." By practicing arete, you will learn to develop virtuous character and live in accordance with your values. This perspective will allow you to focus on yourself and your personal development, promoting lasting and authentic well-being. Principle 14. Catechon duty. The 14th Stoic key idea is the concept of duty, or moral responsibility to self and others. This practice focuses on fulfilling our duties and responsibilities not because of fear of consequences or under compulsion, but because it is ethically right. Or under compulsion, but because it is ethically right. It is the realization that our actions affect both ourselves and others, and that we must act in accordance with our values and principles. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Do what is in accordance with the nature of a good man." This quote reminds us that it is our duty to act in accordance with our nature and lead a virtuous life. By practicing duty, you will learn to fulfill your duties in a way that is in harmony with your values and principles. This perspective will enable you to Principle 15. Logos universal mind. The Stoics believed that the universe was governed by an inner logic, and we should strive to live in harmony with that intelligence. Logos is the practice of seeking truth and wisdom through reason and logic, realizing that our actions and decisions should be guided by reason, not emotion or impulsive desires. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Everything that happens happens as the universal mind wants it to happen." This quote reminds us that we must strive to understand and live in harmony with universal mind. By practicing Logos, you will learn to make rational decisions and live in alignment with universal intelligence. This perspective will allow you to focus on yourself and your personal development. We have come to the end of our journey of 15 Stoic key ideas for focusing on self. Each of these ideas offers a unique perspective on how to live a full and meaningful life from ataraxia to logos. These teachings remind us that we have the power to control our actions and reactions, live in accordance with our values and principles, and contribute to the well-being of others. Remember that Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, but a practical guide for everyday life. By applying these key ideas to your life, you can find inner peace, live with purpose, and unlock your potential. You are ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Self-discovery and personal growth, as Seneca said, not because things are difficult we don't dare, but because we don't dare they are difficult. Thank you for watching this video. Put a like if you enjoyed it, and hope you find these tips helpful. Share this video with those who need it, and leave a comment, for wisdom must be shared to flourish. Right, I am a Stoic, and I will know you have reached this point. Now choose the Stoicism route, right or left. You have 2 Stoicism videos to enjoy. See you next time. You've got 2 Stoic videos you're going to love.